at our Manjai Bureau. On the high table, you have, starting from my far left, you have Ajabinta Ture, who is the second vice president of the female wing. Before her, you have Aja Fatou Jane, who is also the national female mobilizer. And you have Auntie Zainab Ghanim, who is the chairperson and secretary on fundraising. You have Uncle Lamin Mane, or Dr. Lamin Mane, who is also the deputy foreign relations secretary of the party. Then you have Aji Amsek, who is the deputy party leader and secretary general of the United Democratic Party. Then you have Auntie Amanda Yabo, who is the NPP proper, National Party President. Yes, from there you have Uncle Lare Sise, who is an astute Gambian, very well respected internationally, and a member of the United Democratic Party senior cohort. You also have Honorable Yakumba Jete, who is a solicitor of the Supreme Court of, barrister and solicitor of the Supreme Court of the Gambia. And also you've got Uncle Mansandau, chairman of Banjul region for the party. You also have Jatu, who is a member of the female wing and a member of the national executive, and Haji Swane, who is the national president. And on their behalf and on my behalf, I welcome you all to another press conference we are holding here today at the Manjai Bureau. We are honored by your presence and the presence of our national executive and party leadership and all members of the party who are here and continue to steer our party with dedication and vision. We also extend our appreciation to the media for responding to our invitation. Your role in informing the public and safeguarding democracy is invaluable. And to our steadfast supporters, both here and following us across the country and in the diaspora, your commitment is the lifeblood of our movement and party. Today's engagement will focus on critical matters of national interest, the integrity of our democratic processes, concerns over governance, and emerging developments that directly affect the lives of every Gambian. The leadership of the United Democratic Party will provide statements and respond to your questions with the aim of ensuring transparency and accountability to the public we serve. Once again, you're welcome, and thank you for joining us in this important conversation for the future of our nation. The statements will start from the Deputy Party Leader, who will give welcoming remarks. From there, we will have the Deputy Secretary on Foreign Relations, Dr. Lamin Mane, who will give the statement on behalf of the party. From then on, we will have the statements summarized in local languages, especially Mandinka and Wolof, by our senior party member, Uncle Lare Sise. From there, we will open questions, but we are seeking and asking from the media that the questions are curtailed to what is being discussed here today. On that note, I say thank you once more.
The National President of the United Democratic Party, executive members, media houses here present, it is my greatest honor to be with you here today. The agenda is about Sidinjai. Sidinjai, some time ago, I think it was last week, he went to coffee time and was being questioned by Mr. Peter Gomez. And then he wrongfully accused us. People thought that we won't respond, but the United Democratic Party is not that type of party. We will respond when the time comes. And today is the time. We are going to respond accordingly. And I must declare here that Sidinjai, he is a honorable member, but no one should call him honorable because he hasn't got a honorable attitude. As from today, can you call him Sidinjai? And I'm sure we will call him Sidinjai, not Honorable Sidinjai. I won't go far because the statement is going to be done by Mr. Lamin Mane. So I invite Mr. Lamin Mane to do the statement. But media houses, Mr. Bojan have said it. Your questions, please don't go beyond the topic or the agenda. Questions being asked should be on the topic and nothing more. I thank you all for your presence. Thank you.
Leader and Deputy Secretary General of the UDP. Before thanking the press, I would like to take the opportunity to express our appreciation to all the members of the senior management of the party here present. Aji Yamundao J. Yabo, and of course starting with Aji Yamseka and then Aji Yamundao J. Yabo. We have Zainab Ghanim, Binta Toure, Larry Sise, Aji Yakumba Jaite, our brother Mansandao from Banjul, Joko and Haji, and all the members, Fatou Jane, everybody in this hall. We say thank you to you all for honoring our invitation. To the media fraternity, we say to you thank you as usual. Anytime we call you to a press conference, you are present in large numbers and you're here with us to accompany us. We really appreciate your presence, so thank you all very much. Today's press conference is initiated by the party to respond to Sidin Jai's frivolous accusations. The accusations are leveled at the UDP. And as Aji Yam said, for somebody who is supposed to be an honorable member of the House, it's a very dishonorable attitude that he had. Sidin Jai, this is the gentleman who from the time he was a student has been selling off the Gambian youth to a dictatorship with Jammeh. He was with Jammeh, and he was a sellout for the Gambian youth during his presence at the side of Jammeh. Eventually, Jammeh, to reward his psychophancy, Jammeh promoted him and made him a nominated member of parliament. Eventually, when the impasse happened here in 2016, he was promoted as Minister of Information for 7 or 9 days, I can't remember, to carry out the same psychophancy and hypocrisy that he was doing with Jammeh all the time. This is the gentleman who swore that Barrow would never be sworn in this country here. It had to be over his dead body. He connived with Fabakary Jatta to bring about a state of emergency in this country, all in the attempt to subvert the will of the Gambian people. The Gambian people had had enough of the Jammeh dictatorship, and they said, this is it. The Gambia has decided, and we are moving to a new phase. Jammeh was voted out by the Gambian population and a large coalition of Gambian political parties in this country. He, with Jammeh, tried to subvert the will of the people. And to make sure that Jammeh could stay here, they voted a state of emergency, which led to a panic in this country. People fled this country because they feared that there would be conflict and people might lose their lives. And in fleeing this country, a number of people died on the road from road accidents, women, children. People who left their houses open here, their houses were burglared. People lost a lot in this country, all because of Sidin Jai and his like. And he knew all the things he did in this country, so wrong. When Jammeh fled this country, he fled with him. Because he thought he had done enough evil to this country, he was going to be lynched. That's what he believed. But we Gambians, we don't lynch. We take you to court. We take you before commissions. And we make you account for what you did. But he had done so much wrong, he feared that, and he fled the country with Jammeh to Equatorial Guinea. And eventually he saw that Barrow is not the kind who would hold anybody to account. He came back with his tail between his legs. If Barrow had done the right thing, Sidin Jai would never have dared to come to this country because he would have been arrested at the airport and charged and tried for subversion. What he did was subversion in this country. And so many other things. But because Barrow would not touch them, he came back. And what did he do? As soon as he came, he went with Fabakary Tombong Jatta to Adama Barrow and told him, you know what, we can help you stay in power here. And we can make you win, we can make you rich. I'm not saying this. Barrow said it on national television. He said they went to see him and they told him that. He said when they said at the beginning he was shocked and angry. But on second thought he said maybe they are right. And what was the condition for helping him? Throw UDP out of the government. Because UDP was the people, were the people who were holding the country on the right track and making sure that what needed to be done in this country was done. So if you want us to be crooked with you, you have to throw out the good guys. And the good guys are the UDP. So UDP was thrown out of government so that they can come with Barrow to do all that they are doing. What we see today, the corruption, the impunity, and as Larry would say very nicely, the tribal politics, all of that started when UDP left this government. And Sidi Njai and Fabakary Tombong Jatta were among the architects of that. Sidi Njai, this is the guy who a few months ago, towards the end of last year, stopped the construction of a maternity ward in Nyanija, simply because his name and NPP's name was not on it. This is the guy who never worked a day in his life here to do anything for the country. He was a parasite on the Gambian resources. Sidi Njai has no qualifications, no skills, nothing. As we say in Wolof, Gorut Yetu. And he's here living off the sweat of the Gambian people. He was appointed to parliament as a nominated member, and all he did was live off us and live big. And this is the guy today who turns around and accuses the UDP of having militia in this country, going around the country to intimidate people of non-Mandinka ethnic origin. Anywhere else in the world, he would have been fired that same day from government. Because that's a very dishonorable statement that he did, he pronounced. And we are going to sue him in court to come up with the evidence that we have militia in this country which are going around trying to intimidate people. He has made that accusation, leveled it against us, he will have to prove it in court. Who does Sidi Njai think he is? We live in this country, he said, Filan Mage, Filan Juru. Yeah, Filan Juru, Filan Mage. We were all here. So any militia in this country, there's nowhere to hide. And if UDP had militia in this country, Sidi Njai and co would have been very happy. Because then they would arrest those people and disband the UDP for having set up a militia in this country. That's what they wanted. That's what they wanted 2 years ago when the PRU officers were killed. PRU officers were killed here, 2 gentlemen and a lady was seriously injured. We as UDP immediately denounced it and said we must find the culprits and bring them to court. What did the government do? They immediately sent out this spokesperson, Sankare, to accuse us, UDP, of having been behind that killing of those gentlemen. He said the people involved got the money in a mosque in this country, and the money was shared between them, and that the government had laid hands on part of that money. He said that that guy was a member of the UDP, he was present at the UDP rally, and he was for Yankuba Dabo in the Brikama Area Council. They had set up something to frame us, to make us responsible for a killing that has absolutely nothing to do with us. Nothing. And they are the ones who should tell us who got killed. And they have framed a young man when they could not frame us. They framed a young man who is languishing in jail today. And they cannot even prove that case. The objective then was again to tarnish the image of the UDP, have people arrested, and have the party disbanded. Because they know that they cannot win free, fair, and transparent elections in this country anymore. They know that. And they are scared out of their wits that if UDP wins, or rather when UDP wins, it's not if, when UDP wins, they will be called to book. And they know that they cannot win elections. They know that they cannot buy the elections anymore. They know that they cannot intimidate people into voting for them. And they cannot rig the elections because we told them stealing elections is over in this country. Nobody will steal our victory anymore. And in 2026, we're going to win and win big and go to the State House and call them before the courts. That's why they're scared. This last attempt by Sidin Jai is another attempt to frame the UDP, to say they are an undemocratic institution, they are a violent institution. They've accused us of tribalism. Of course that failed. Nobody believes that anymore. That has been a lie that has been going on from the Jamia days. Nobody believes that anymore. Nobody believes that UDP is a tribalist party. What they did in 2021, they went out there, they moved by force, and all of them went out there to accuse us of being a tribalist party, that we will throw people out of this country who are not Mandinka when we win. How on earth can anybody think like that? Who is UDP to throw out Gambians out of the Gambia? The Mandinka, the Fula, the Jola, the Sarahule, the Serial, the Akua, everybody in this country, anybody who is Gambian. And no ethnic group has the possibility to throw out anybody from this country because you just feel like doing it. We have lived in this country in peace and harmony. We have coexisted peacefully. We are very courteous people. We marry into these different tribes. We live together. We go to each other's funerals, each other's naming ceremonies, etc. We are a community and a nation. And UDP is trying to build a nation of Gambians, not a conglomeration of tribes. And that is what Barrow and NPP are trying to do. Build a conglomeration of tribes. Today you invite the Mandinkas, tomorrow is the Wolofs, tomorrow is the Jolas, the Fula, the Sarahul. No. Gambia should have the Gambian. Our ethnic origins are important to all of us, but those factors should be something to make us better, not to divide us. What I bring as a Mandinka, what Ajiyam brings as a Wolof and Pearl, what Zainab brings in, what Binta brings in, what Larry brings in, etc. Our different ethnic origins, that diversity is supposed to make us better and stronger, not weaker. But they are trying to weaponize that to divide us because they think they can divide us and rule us. And while we are fighting amongst ourselves, they are robbing us blind. So they can continue the corruption and we keep fighting amongst ourselves. No, that's over in this country. So Sidin Jai, what you're trying to do will not prosper. We will not let you. We will not let you because this country is not for sale and this country is not for burning. You guys go out, then tell me. You're not going to burn this country. You're not going to spill blood in this country. Demba Sabali said they'll spill blood if that's what is required for for Barrow to stay in power. As I said, Jammeh is the same ilk. Jammeh Barrow is the same thing. He said they will spill blood if that's what's required for Barrow to stay in power. Sidin Jai is accused of having militia in this country. And that is an attempt to frame us. Next thing they will do, probably they will set up a militia somewhere and say these are UDP guys and they're carrying arms, we go after UDP. We warn all of you and we warn the Gambians. Anybody who falls for that will come for you together with Sidin Jai. We do not have militia. We do not use guns. We do not use knives. We do not use cutlasses. We use the ballot box to change this country. We follow the rule of law. That is what Useru Dabo has taught us. Obey the law. Respect the law. Our only arm that we use is the law of the Gambia. So we don't go for physical violence, not even verbal violence. That is them, and that is on them. So we will not let this go. So if you set up a militia and try to accuse us, we'll come after you in the courts. Because that's probably what you're trying to do, so that you can accuse us and try to arrest our people or disband. It will not happen. We said never again in 2016. And we mean never again. And we're going to fight for this country. We will not spill blood. We will not burn the country down. We will not follow you in your tragic situation. The Gambia is for the Gambians. And we'll fight to make it livable and enjoyable for all the Gambians. So Sidin Jai, we have you in our sights. And when we say we have you in our sights, we're watching you. We're not coming after your physical violence, no. But we'll watch you and we'll follow you and we'll sue you all the way. That's what we want to tell everybody today, starting with Sidin Jai, because this trend has been in the UNPP forever. At one point, is Hamad Ba, is Dembo by force, is Sidin Jai. Sidin Jai, Barrow himself, when he said that he will have to wait and see that Ousseynou Dabo is dead. He said he had a contract to have Ousseynou Dabo killed so he can wash his hands over his grave and then go and step down. That's the head of state, for God's sake, saying that kind of thing. Who do we have at the head of this country? The head of state says that. The deputy speaker says this. The national president or whatever it is, them by force says what he says. Ahmad Ba says all the wrong things they say.
And Mr. Saba.
Who are we having at the head of this country? Gambia, we need to change this leadership. Because they have failed to do what is required of them as Gambian government, they say, let's burn the country down. Let's start chaos so we can stay in power. Because they fear that when they come down, they'll be accountable. Look at all that they try to do with the Constitution. So that they would just stay there, and when they come out of power, they will not be accountable, they cannot be pursued in court, they cannot be prosecuted, there can be no commissions against them, then they can just steal as much as they want, and we have nothing, no recourse against them. And we say, you're not getting away with that. So we voted out the Constitution, the draft, because we want impunity to end in this country. We want accountability to be the rule of the day. And we want nobody to stay in power here for more than 10 years, 2 terms. Because if you have that otherwise, the impunity is what's making Sidin Jai and these people bold. Because they think that they can stay for another 10, 15, 20 years and nobody will call them to account, so then they do all the wrong things. But if they know that in 2026 they are going and they have to account for what they do, things will change. So we want impunity to stop, and that will stop. It's been a long time I've been talking. Just allow me to say a few words in Wolof before handing over to my colleagues and Larry and the rest to say. Sidin Jai, moo fi taxaw coffee time na ñun UDP dañu am ay ndaw ñu ñu yebal ñoo xam ne dañ leen jox ay gànnaay ay jaas yi ay paaka ay fetel dem di xoxatal nit ñi seen dëkk yi di leen wax ne dañ leen fi dàq doon fi sànni carte dañ leen dàq bu ñu winee dara du ci dëgg dara du ci dëgg Sidin Jai xam nañ mooy kan Sidin Jai bi mu nekkoon xalal ba tey ci lan la dundee ci réew mi nekk di fenal nguur gi di leen wax li leen neex di jaay ku mun a jaay pour ñoom ñu wéy kii moo fi toogoon student si mu nekk student NAPSA student union bi fii koo xam ne foog nañ ne nekkuloo ci jàmme ñu dem boole ak jàmme ñu sonal la toroxal la xoxatal la tëj ñi di dóor ñi di tëj pour ñoom ñu mun a jàll ñoom ñu wéy ci la nekkoon nag di fenal jàmme bi ba waxtu bu ko neexee jàmme jël ko def ko nominated member in parliament nekk nominated member ba 2016 bi impasse bi amee xewee ñu bëri daw bàyyi government moom mu ne ko man kay du ma daw man maay sa jàmm bi njëkkaat ji gën a am doole ci réew mi maa fi gën a njublaan naa la topp jàmm def ko jël ko def ko ministre xaw ma juróom-ñaari fan la xaw ma juróom-ñeenti fan waaye mu dul fukki fan sa la nekk ministre ci bi mu nekkoon ministre diir boobu noonu toog na fi ne bara duñ ko fi waatal suñ ko fi waat xanaa moom mu ñu rey ko njëkk moom moo Fabakary Tombong Jatta ñu toog indi state of emergency lépp pour lan parce que Gambien si di sànni carte ne lii doy na dañ sonn coono bi ñu nekkee doy na dëkk bi dafa normelu woon ñu ne dañ génne suufa ci guuta bi ñu dugal defaat leneen moom ne déet ñun kay loolu moo ñu gënal ñun fa ngi na des te Gambien si ñoo sànni carte ñu ne bugguñ ko bugguñ Barrow bugguñ Dabo ñu safr la bugguñ Jammeh Barrow lañ bugga mu ñëw toog def ñetti at ñu dem ñu tànn keneen moom ne du am bi ñu defee state of emergency bi fii ñu bëri tiit nag ne xam ne léegi de moom dinañ jàpp fii xeex na am deret na tuuru ñu bëri daw bàyyi dëkk bi borom kër yi yónni seen jabar yi seen doom yi leen daw leen man kenn mun naa toppatoo sama bopp waaye soo fi nekkee dafaa jafe ñu yónni seen jabar yi ak seen doom yi ñi dem ci dex gi ñi dem Sénégal ñi dem Guinée Bissau fu nekk lañ dem pour ñu mun a rawale seen njaboot yi ci rawale googu nag ñu bëri am nañ ci accident ñii dee ci jigéen ñi dee nañ ci seen doom yi dee nañ ci ñi fi bàyyi woon seen kër yi toj nañ seen kër seen gannaaw yaakaar nañ lu bëri ci réew mi lépp pour lan ndig Sidi Ndiaye ak ñu mel ni moom moo def loolu yëpp ci réew mi fii faate xeju fi bi mu xewee fukki at la ci gannaaw xam nga juróom-ñeenti at sa mutu fukki at sa ñoom ñoo ko fi def bi mu xewee nag bi nga xamee ne Jammeh dafa wàcca vitamine rës mu daw toppa Jammeh nga dem équatorial Guinée parce que xam na lim def xam na ne dañ ko fi téye tëj ko yóbbu ko koot mu tiit daw toppa Jammeh dem toggi équatorial Guinée waaw bi mu demee équatorial Guinée gis ne nag Barrow de moom lambar la yàmbar la du toog kenn duñ fi téye kenn duñ yóbbu kenn koot mu delsi ci la delsi fii waaye bi mu delsee lan la njëkk a def dafa extrait mu daw dem ci Barrow moom ma Fabakary Tombong Jatta ñu ne ko xam nga lan la ñun mën nañ laa dimbali nga toog ci nguur gi fii am li nga bëgg a am waaye nag foog nga dàqa UDP njëkk parce que ñi dañ jub ñaar ñii nii su ñaari kilifa yi toog nii ñoo daan sandwich Barrow Aji Yam ak Aji Yam mu ndaw ñoo ko daan sandwich boobu ko buy campagne ka dafa jiitu leen ci kanam ñoo ko xeexal waaye ñu ne ko da ngaa daaxa ñooñu pour ñu wax yow dimbali la pour nga mën fee yàgg am gina mën a am xaalis ci réew mi or kat dépassé kooku loolu mooy or ñu or rek réew mi yëpp Sidi Ndiaye ak Fabakary Tombong Jatta jàppale ko ci UDP gën a nguur gi ñoom ñu dugal mu nekk deputy speaker kii musuta liggéey ci réew mi fii gorul yettul xëyut ngontuwul suñ ñax bi lay dundee suñ xaalis bi la ñoo jël di ko fay as nominated member as deputy speaker Sidi Ndiaye musuta liggéeyal ci réew mi kenn dafa nekk fii di lekk suñ xaalis li moo lekk lewut li moo lekk yelluwu ko ñoom xam na ko waaye ñoom noonu lañ mel nag soo du dara ci ñoom waaye ñun gor lañ ñun luwaa la ñoo toppa luwaa la ñoo sàmm moo tax ñu ne ko li ngaa jéem a def du fi xew liñ defoon li moo jéem a def nii loolu la ngay defoon ñaari at ci gannaaw fii ñu rey fi ñaari PIU officers gaañ bu métti benn jigéen te bokk ci ñoom kooku yàlla def na alhamdulilah deewut waaye sonn na loolu lépp tax ñu def ko parce que dañ boole tuumal UDP dañoo rey ñooñu pour ñu mën a téye suñ kilifa yi mën a téye suñ parti militant si tëj leen ba pare tas parti bi ci loolu la gaa jublu woon loolu lañ jàng ci Macky Sall Sénégal loolu la Macky def Sénégal ak Pastef ne ay terroriste lañ dañ am ay gànnaay yu dul jeex ci réew mi ñu ngi jëm a daaneel nguur gi ñu tas parti bi ci ñoom Ousmane Sonko ak ñëpp tëj leen ñu ne ñun tam mën nañ koo def Gambie loolu la gaa yi bëggoon waaye yàlla muy buur weer leen dañ ko def rek Sankara daw dem ci rajo bi mu ne waaw ñi def lii kii def lii xam nañ ko daf ko def rek mu daw dem ci benn juma yow ngay jullit di tuumale ki rëy ci juma lañ sosee loolu ragaluloo yàlla sax mun ko dafa rëy rek mu daw dem ci juma ñu jox ko xaalis bi ñu séedoo xaalis bi waaye nguur gi téye na am ñu nguur yëpp naa mën a am ci xaalis boobu noonu ki ko def nañ ko jàpp léegi nañ ko tëj parce que waa UDP la mu ngi liggéeyal Yankuba Dabo Brikama Area Council daf daa dem ci UDP meetings te yëpp fen la dara du ci dëgg seen IGP Sow génn def ñoo jéemal expliqué muy luy triangulation naka la ñu def xaamee téléphone bi fan la nekk moo xamutoon dara ci triangulation sax li ma wax sax soo ko déglu la gaa dafa réew yooyu yëpp def nañ ko ci réew mi fii pour tuumal UDP pour téye suñ kilifa yi tëj leen pour tas parti bi yàlla muy buur xam ne digg rek lay farle yàlla moo ñu taxawlu moo tax mënuñ koo def waaye ndeysaan téye nañ ci biir doomi jàmbur tuumal ko jox Mama Jabi $1 million pour tuumal ko waa jaa ngi tëjoo tëdd prison ba tey te loolu tam na jeex de waaye lii xew yëpp lan moo ci nekk because njaaxare moo leen jàpp ci liñ nekk xam nañu du yoon du dëgg ñu jaaxle nag bu fii ceeñee ñoom dinañ am pour taxaw yelloo liñ wax ñu liñ doon def loolu moo leen tiitloo te xam nañ ne ñoom mënatuñoo gagné élection ci réew mi fii xam nañ ko free élection boo xam ne dafa jub boo xam ne dafa leer du mënu koo gagné ci réew mi fii because 2021 ñun ñoo gagné ñu sàcc ko ñu bugg a génn Ousseynou ne bu leen génn nañ toppal waaye dañ dem court ñu dem court gars yi sànni suñu kees ñun ñu ne 2026 loolu du fi amati kenn du sàcc suñu élection te duñ dem Supreme Court dañoo win ñu dem State House yóbbu Ousseynou Dabo State House loolu moo leen tiitloo moo jël seen fit parce que xam nañ lu mu xewee kenn ci gars yi xam nga naka Cissé fu naa Ibrahima Cissé mu ne su UDP gaa ñoon 2021 ñoom ñëpp dañoo tëddi mile 2 bépp ki la ko Sada Ba ay wala fanu parce que ñoom ñu xam mu ne xam nañ li ñu def ñoom suñu wiiroon dañoo dem tëddi mile 2 di xam nañ ko xam nañ li ñu def te ñu ne loolu du fi ñaare lati nag 2026 kenn du sàcc suñu victory te dañoo win yóbbu dem State House loolu moo jël seen fit ñun nañ leen sàkkal pexe léegi ci sàkkal pexe boobu la nekk waaye du fi am Sidi Ndiaye li moo def ñu ngi koo bàyyi xel Sidi Ndiaye da nga war a màndu da nga war a tey dal fen du la yóbbu fen dëgg mooy mujj ci réew mi te duñ la bàyyi nga taal réew mi duñ leen bàyyi ngeen def ko dem ba saa dañ tuur deret duñ fi tuur deret adama ba dañ def rey Ousseynou Dabo suul ko du fi am du fi am liñ leen a wax mooy ñun lu waa la ñoo sàmm te réew mi rek lañ am soo déggee nañ taal réew mi da nga ci amul dara ñun nag fii la suñu lépp nekk fii lañ juddoo fii lañ faaxeekoo fii la suñu lépp nekk duñ nangu kenn ku taal réew mi li ñu tax a jóg ñun mooy jégal réew mi ñëpp am ci seen ax ak seen yelleef ñëpp ñu fee dundee ni ñu waree suñ doom mun koo bàkkoo ndamoo ko loolu lañ bugga ku génn ci réew mi nga ndamoo Gambie laa jógee nga mun koo bàkkoo loolu lañ bugga ñun bugguñ koo taal bugguñoo rey kenn bugguñoo tuur dereti kenn Ousseynou Dabo loolu la doon wax mu ne leen 2021 mu ne bu leen génn su leen génn nag nañ tuur deret man buggumaa dugg ci dereti doomi jàmbur dem State House moo tax kenn génnu toon waaye loolu du fi amati nag sàcc moom jeex na fi jeex na tag moo jël seen fit nag so ñu leen a xaar Sidi Ndiaye li nga def du romba ñu ngi laa bàyyi xel dinañ la xeex te xeex bi ñun koot la ak carte waaye di nga dem nga layoo ko nag indi koot ñu ngi leen a gërëm di leen sant bu baax ci seen dégluwaay bi ak seen teewaay bi fii di leen a jërëjëf jëf yal na leen yàlla fay so ma jox kenn suma xarit ñu wax ko ci soose tam bi pare ñu mën a continuer.
And thank you, members of the press, for coming. Tebe mem fola, la mi mane kuma jama le fo, alba moy la le, ba be dol kala TikTok pour al sa moy ay men fo nte ba asutian dilal. Ba asutian la nyame wala mu nyenti ko. Sidi Ndiaye kuma le fo coffee time with Peter Gomez. Ako UDP e molle soto ye kele joranol di menula pour kata flol nen well ako pour kata siolu men ya lonke manke manding koti kate noma ka je ko kana carte o fay first of all carte fay man soto ito lebe mol register ka ni tata dulal to tare ni bay iko UDP le famol ning terangol ning murol di molla pour kana carte o fay Sidi Ndiaye la okumu lafta aliye muru ali al hakilo murundi to 2016 Sidi Ndiaye le lota janga ko kabri ya jamme president elect Barrow kumande ka tentu ka jay ay election o men win Sidi Njie le lota ko wote kela barote kalindi la nyum banko kan nabe kalindi la fana be kalindi la te fure wala kan Sidi Njie le o video bi je Sidi Njie o fo dalilo men kama wala munti ay tiñaro men ke ya jamme la wato ka foldin ke wol tayle ya jamme a lonko nimman sakunda nata membe loi tamandila fo Sidi Njie muta because ayo menke bankola loi ko ikafole treason mumuneti ka banko jahasi ka be du nyokono ka be pisir pasar ka be tinya Sidi Njie nyanta tarla bunja walta ma nyanta tarla deputy speaker of the house ndebu ka fa honorable Sidi Njie le o kabrin ko woli yele mata aye bori a tata ya ani ablata ya jameno e tata editorial gi kabra jibe ko tenkunta a je ko barote ku kala ila bolto amurtana ala murona ala al hakilo murundi ko teke to 2017 2018 Sidi Njie londi tabu Sidi Njie meche tabu Sidi Njie membabul wala ma dakalo alo dakalo fana aka kumol men foje abuka ke kuma bete ali nga hakilo tu wo 2017 18 abe loi sol aka bumule jo fentabul dol ka fo fan abuka la loi so jono ndema wo do ngame londro wala dulala be ko sarro di ka fo je ko Sidi Njie ko ni ndema lo molke la ko nyol to la ni mo kuntam lam abe loi so lawo amam fen so idunta Adama Barrow ko president Barrow fangale lota ko Sidi Njie ni faba kar tombon tata kanne ko si lakan natra ko abe sen dabona la mol bayla ma sabulay sa soko president fangale o fo ko di yo anata na Ousseynou ñolu bay ay jumal la katanda fanna Sidi Njie ni faba kari tombon jata ay wala katanda fa ame katanda fanna doro loi bu koto ay palaso men dila bibi ning Adama Barrow tije vice president la nim vice president tije speaker la ni speaker tije ngamira chief justice o deputy speaker so ay banko di ñullal president Barrow e banko di ñullal wo kola Sidi Njie la kumu ala muronde president Barrow fanga la kuma kilinto ay même fa mamme ako mol nyante hakilotulal because that is kujawo ke no molla wow kanto I can do some bad things ngawolon ne dictator le kawoke but in nanying never again mantra ngamira president Barrow na la mol kanyina wala akasi kujawo ke no molla wo botaje demba sabali nata ako itol pareta kayelo bon Adama Barrow pour Adama Barrow tu sira wonyin ko Adama Barrow yo fo demba Barrow sa fa fan demba sabali yo fo den Sidi Njie tata West Coast Sidi Njie la ta West Coast alanga hakilo murundi ko mako de Rwanda ye keleba men soto Rwanda fo mo wuli keme say fata ji mo killing wala wulta tata radio station auto ako hutulbe tutsil ñol fakat tutsil wulita ifanal bulata hutul no ye Rwanda jani ya bele tinya wo botaje Burundi the same butu tutsi problem ye Burundi fanan jani wo botaje Central African Republic ate si faram fansindi kilimo ye jebe jan wo botaje DR Congo hanabi mbeoka ye si faram fansindo dum di je auto fanan be jan mbadi ngol ne ajam be nyilu bal hakilo bulan la nyul pareta nyim banko janila baralin kana soye banko jani banku dingulu aflalem go amandin kalem ba asrualem ba a jolalem ba sarahule gambiano be kana son nyimmoli la interest ka yenna banko jan dalilo me ati ne pareta nyim banko jan yalon ka diamu nyim platform wol tol ibe corruption o men na ya lonne ibe tiñaro men na ya lonne andu ya lonne ko nga lonne ibe tiñaro men yalon nin sungu ya lonko fentiyo ya lonne ikan suñale na e kutingule ate mutalaba mbe o situation leto ñu lafta ñim banko janilal at any cost because il lafta tula sembo e tubu nkana song yenna banko jan nkana song mandinka fula jola sarahule wolof manjago siol men bebe ñim banko ka nkana song ñim mo kuntawal yen mul takiñola nien kumul takiñola to le gagneta ilafta men na niake to lebe o bénéfice o soto mbukala fika mol to fo dulal to tarim bari nal hakilo ba ma fana mama kande nene ya fala congress to som ako bol ka fo politician no lebe nyim banko jani ako maybe that is true bari même fana be banko jani la wolem IEC ika election o conduct nyami alila moy jela UDP manke banku janila kafuti UDP lonnal le bije UDP katama luale la UDP katama silol la UDP katama tonyal nimmol walla wol dodo moy la because i mantiling ibenna banko kasara kanne kodi ko wala karo ibenna banko kasara kanne carte fayola kuwala ibe na banko kasara kanne ibe contrat call sign la dulal beto tarik mo malo contrat call men biji nali al hakilotum ka kumol men be fo nyin kar la ban kon be tata nata wala ibe tula banko kan nyamen e kodo men pisir pasari do domola nyamen ibe nya walla o fananga ni wote gambia drone sidin jay sike nyim pusi fa ite mankara iman londi soto base fangote ko bar hanwo ye baroje dawda sidi njay baba so nteka men fo moli sidi njay be fem fo kan demba sabale be fem fo kan adama barole ba fo kan let us hold adama baro accountable for the actions and words of these people na adama baro muta na karteo fay na boyindi na itanda la ko itante nyim bankoti banku dimul le tamu nyim banku dimul mo million fula nim fenne ite kilinnam fo ni mol men sote bala men ya lon ko ni pareta yeta yenneng wala yen kumul takiñola ye fitino ñor banko ka mbeku mo kuntula dami al kana song mol mo men bebel la moy ka al kana song ni mol ya ayal diamundi ye fengo dialla e kale ko alke militiati ale UDP 2 al kana song because no keta mbital normal ko mbite no ma nyami yalo moldi amuta jan sidin jay ay nying information o bondi damen fire kata manke tonya ay fabrication o wala muneti yemira tro ite si mo tumi no nyame pour ay problème o soto eta yewfo anda fo nyine kama ko kute bolaje a fo nyine kama fana ni samba kiti o temutal because kiti mol munna mansa kunda fo arabu barole ma fo ala supportal memmen diate ya fo ibe support la president men ka fo manke loi president finally loi la karola na loi bu ko mo be kanyanta loi ko bari nte katula fo la dulal to tari UDP ka fo dulal to tarin ko yes be kanyanta loi ko bari fom be kanyanta loi nyaati limu la leba because ngaaje president barobe o fola demba sabali nyol be nyul fola sidi nyol be nyul fola ibe jikri nyine la ko nin tata loi nyaati limu la loi te apply lam be kan loi be apply le to le kan gambiano la alinga lonko nimma nyil mol bondi nyindula na banko kasarata ala lom fananko adama baro na la mol iñatunta UDP lela ani lawyer Ousseynou Dabo adama ya jamme ka kumolu fo janna mam me ay kuma do fo Gambia la Karola inendete ya ba adama baro moy labe ya jamme because a man hani ya ala ay Ousseynou le yab ay UDP le yab wala naka fo bare adama baro maninka kunda nyabondo ka kijel momu en nakku momo ya lon ne ko ntol be wulla wato men na nin ko le ketan ka fala al ngata tabo ko to sate bantala ngata nyo nyabon UDP ning Adama Barrow Gambia non ning Adama Barrow be nyo nyabon dila le 2026 because nka fon ne ko Adama Barrow ya lon ne ko nin carte o fayta carte o tilinta suñar manki je femfe manki je ate carte o winno la nyim banko kan kotek nka o fole election integrity free fair transparent election ni woketa jang Adama Barrow nenete carte o soto lay ko sa lon na findita ka jele mol ka menu fa moyle alinga naki nyola kana so yenna banko kasa alinga naki nyola kana so yenna banko jani alinga naki nyola ngaje ko banko duale ka taman yaje luwate dawda je bukatel so alinga Adama Barrow tembendi alinga Sidi Ndiaye nyol tembendi alinga Demba Sabali nyol tembendi Dembo Bay Fos nyol nge tembendi ye loi normal ye loi respect but more importantly atol Gambianol yal respect because ibe freedom men kono ibe nafa men kono Gambianol le adila atol men be kala moy men be kudan kuntawur makati albe men kono al yalon nyilbe men kono al yo fanalon al kanason yal nene kotake ka foko imal lafi fulol le mal lafi surwal le mal lafi si kota walla ilafta janke la maninka bankol because jammanke maninka bankol jammu Gambelet Wolof Fula Mandinka Sarahule Jola lele kam nim banko ni momo kale ko wo manke toñati al podon sikal ya bay alaba
waruma wax waaye li kii wax Sidi Ndiaye Fabakary Tombong Jatta benn bés lay ñëw Fajara Abuba Adama ngi Fajara man lañ fa fekka kera juma moo fa nekk juma jaane protocole boori timis ñëwul dee time de boori timis man ajayaamu ndaw yaabu man lañ fa fekka ñoo dur saanoom ñoo ànda ñoom ñetta maa leen fekka ñu toog ni si boori Facebook gàtta boobu mel ni ay almudu yu toog noonu laa dugga rek dur saane dugga fekka ma mu ne ma anti yaam da ma ne mu ne ma gis nga Fabakary ak Sidi Ndiaye ñoo toog nii ma ne ko mu ne ma gis nga man de lii laay liggéey damaa dem di leen indi si parti bi ma ne ko loolu de soo ko defee baax na dem indi leen waa APRC nga indi leen si parti bi ma ne ko loolu de moom starting bu rafet la kere juma ne duñ dugga parce que amuñ appointment tey su Sidi Ndiaye bokkoon ak Adama Barrow dinañ leen def loolu dinañ leen wax loolu moo tax bi Adama Barrow waxee ne Sidi Ndiaye ak kii ñoo ko wax ne na daxawaa UDP ma gom ko xam ne loolu dégg la parce que man seen ñëw fekk fa la ma fekk ba leen dur saanoo indee jërëjëf.
The executive care president. Out of 9 executive members care president, excluding Uncle Larry, you only have 2 Mandinka sitting. I am Sarahule and Tiamudo Jayabo,
Wolof and Jola. My mom is a Jola.
Ajiyam is a Wolof. Fula and Zainab is now. Uncle Mansandao is Wolof. I am Sarahule and Wolof combined. Jatu is Jola, Haji is Sarahule. So how can this be a Mandinka party? The options are very clear. It's very simple. If UDP was founded just based on Mandinkanism, what are we doing here? What is someone like me doing here?
The positions.
Exactly, and the positions. And just look at our mayors and chairman. We have Rohilo is Wolof, Talib Bensouda is Nar, Yankuba is Mandinka. So UDP is a representation of the entire Gambia. And everyone should see that. And I would urge particularly the youth, if anyone comes to you talking about tribalism alone when it comes to politics, know that they have nothing else to offer you because they have nothing in their heads. That's why they're talking about tribalism, because there is so much going wrong in this country that we need to address. What about the inflation? What about the losing of the value of our dollar to other currencies, particularly the CFA? These are issues people like Sidinjai should be addressing when they come to the public front instead of tribalism. Once they open their mouths and all they can say is tribalism, just be assured that there is nothing more in their head that they can come to. Thank you. I just wanted to say this.
Jarama musidɗam fulɓe ɓe wandanta kamɓe kadi wonani ɗo kibaruji e nder haala Qur'an o press conference ɗo no arani eɗon andino balɗe yawtinoɗi ɓawɗo seeɗa rek Sidi Ndiaye mo andanta ko kanko woni deputy speaker suuni député ko kanko kadi woni deputy spokesperson National People's Party o yahno coffee time with Peter Gomez, West Coast Radio 92.4 we yahno toon fi wonɗon interview and then on interview o Sidi Ndiaye o waɗi tuumaji mo andanta Democratic Party o jokkini toon e nder ɗum noon parti on no yimɓe waɗi nécessary fi men arɗo men laɓina Sidi Ndiaye ko haali kon sabranta faamgol parti o ɗiɗo haalalaji ɗo ko haalaji waɗiɗo dangerous ko haalaji mo andanta o waway addande ɓen fitna e leydi ndi UDP noon no min andi tarika o noon ko parti loi ko parti mo andanta ko jomaɓe gandal on toon koɓe andi kon ko ɗoni fewre siɗa ɗaɓɓa ɗum koye junngo yimɓe taɓata wonade e fitna ko ɗaɗoɗa ɗum noon naɓe ɓe tarika Sidi Ndiaye comme haalol no haaliri noon no Sidi Ndiaye no ɓe andiri noon ko APRC wonno mo wonno e suɓiɗi ɗo kadi as nominated member watu Yaya Jammeh gila laaɓi Yaya Jammeh on wonti waɗa 2016 December 1 Yaya Jammeh yani gila ko yani ɗo cabinet makko o fof dogi ɗum ko Sidi Ndiaye heɗino ɗon haa woni place mo annata ko won place ministre mo annanta woni ministre balɗe jeeɗiɗi walla balɗe jeenayi e nder ɗum ɗon noon Yaya Jammeh former président mbo yaltina ko reeni ɗo nde mo yalta ɗon ka Sidi Ndiaye dow no jogi ɗum ɓe yalti reeni ɗo kono nde mo yaltata mine anndi no impasse arno ɗo e on impasse o Sidi Ndiaye dawno ɗo ɓe wii Yaya Jammeh ko kañum woni président o Adama Barrow mbo jiɗata o nder o siira mo anndanɗa ko ɓeynata elected président elect yimɓe ko wiɗi kadi on maayi fiiɓe dow yaltugol e leydi ɗo ɗaɓɓam koye maɓɓe ɓe heeɗi accident ji e nder hoore leydi ndi ɗo ɓe yalta maɓɓe yimɓe yaha e dulaji maɓɓe e nden o accident noon o ɗaɓɓani ko hombo woni pullo ko hombo woni sarabulle ko hombo woni jowra ko hombo woni mandinka e ko hombo kadi woni séréer walla bayduka bila ko fitna o immino wattu ɗo so gila mbo haalno ga ɗo haala mbigol UDP ko parti mo andanta ɓe jogui ministre groupe so anani ministre groupe ko woni ko groupe kaf mo andanta UDP ne jogui ɗum kaf militiraɓe ɓe joɗi ɗin joranaji mo andanta ko ɓe waɗa ɗum fi ɓe jahna yimɓe mo haali ɗo leydi mo waɗa ni pulɓe e kala sarampuleɓe e kala jonaɓe fi jolofɓe fi ɓe jahnaɓe ɓe hulɓinaɓe ɓe innaɓe ɓe heɓata ɗo kayiti carte wote e gandiya ɗo bo innani toɓe ko ɓe yi fulɓe sa daari ɗo UDP comme yakuma no haali ɗinno ɗo oɗo joɗude koɓe joɗɗo ɗo ko semberine rekkol ɗo joni sa yi on ɗon parti mo annata ko fulɓe woni heede yeeso makko ko fulɓe jogui carte ko fulɓe woni honorable ko sa yahi ko ba e baaji koye tunkara ko ɓeñ tawata e place ji UDP ko honde on façon parti ɗo immata mbo hulɓina yimɓe ɗo yiya ɗum ɓen ɗon ɓe heɓata ɗo kayitiji mo annata ko woni kayitiji amba wote so min tawi oɗo tuumaji ɗo ko tuumaji mbaɗi ko sangara tuumaji mo annanta ko ma parti o ƴetta ɗum darde on ɗo darde ɗon ko ɗum woni min waɗat suu Sidi Ndiaye min waɗa ɗum sukankor fi mbo waɗa proof ne UDP gonga gonga ɓe jogui parti kafu mo annanta ko woni parti kafu militaire ko wanno ko ministère groupe on ɗo ministère groupe ɓe waɗa ɓe jonnakala joraji mo annanta fetel e laaɓi e fangi fimɓe jahana yimɓe ɓe hulɓinaɓe so tawi mboɗi ɗum waɗa proof e court min anda ko haali kon ko gon kono so wawi ɗum so wawano waɗde ɗum proof min anda ko haali kon ko haala mo annanta wona gonga so ɗum noon no lattiri men ɓe taari kam mo annanta minen ɗo men sikkiri noon NDP e Sidi Ndiaye ɓe foti wadde ɗo hannde ko ɗum waɗi ndaarogol Gambia diversity ko jogi on fi yimɓe hakkunde amen honno kawral wata arde kono naafi argol hulɗingol leƴƴi fi kamɓe ɓe heɓa ɓelendi maɓɓe kono min tawiri no ardi noon saha e laamu Adama Barrow ko ɗum tagi ha waɗi ka laamu Adama Barrow ko fi feccugol yimɓe e leƴƴi fi kamɓe wawi heɓude sagoji maɓɓe ko Sidi Ndiaye min yani on gandal e junngo makko min yani on kadi on ɗon ƴoyre e junngo makko min yani on kadi yiɗugol leydi makko e junngo makko fi kadi mo wawa wadde place manata ko ɗum ni député speaker e nder laamu Adama Barrow hannde sina fi argol rek addugol feeri manda ko wona feccude yimɓe e leƴƴi kamɓe ɓe wawi heɓde sagoji maɓɓe ko on noon ka façon politique noon ɓe waɗɗo 2021 enen mi anduno dembo bay force o darno ɗo o mbi ɗo parti ko ɗo wonata on parti UDP si ɓe eɓi ɗo laamu ndu mo andanta fulɓe ɓen e jonaɓe ɓen e sarankulle ɓen serere ɓen ɓe o yini ɓen ɓe ronɗo ɓen ɗon dolle maɓɓe ɗen fi ɓe yaltina ɓe e Gambia ɗo eɗen andi ɗum ɗo fof wona gonga kono sa yi tampéreji monnata ko ɗum men jogui horeneni ɗi hannde no wayni tampéreji 2021 oɗo konngol monnata dembo bay force ko ɗum ɗo haalno leññande o hulɓiniɓe ɓen ɓe ronki andude walla ɓe ronki faamude ɓe calcula hongo walla ko ɗum taki neɗɗo no andara laamu walla ko ɗum taki neɗɗo no bugana laamu fi ɓe jooɗo sa yi hannde gurdal seeyi ko fi ɗum ɗon konngolji kono hannde sa yi mbiɗen naɓa Sidi Ndiaye e cote ko fi ko haali kon ko haala monnanta wona gonga ko haala monnanta waɗde fitna ko haala monnanta ko o anni fi waɗugol ban UDP e hoore laamu e hoore leydi Gambia ɗo because Macky Sall ko façon ɗiɗo feereji mbo waɗi Sénégal ha Pastef ɗi warano ban ɓe haalde ɓe kamɓe ɓen ko to Pastef no parti o ngo torisaɓe ɓe faala adude fitna e Sénégal ɗum taki noon ha yeesoɓe parti e Pastef ɓen ɓe sokano e leydi Sénégal kono ɗum takani Allah ko ñaari gon goɗaka ɓe soki yeesoɓe Pastef ɓen kono hay ndem ɓiɓɓe leydi Sénégal ɓen ɓe tawi politique ko fi anden feereji e kala anden kala gurɗamen ɗon ko honɗon fewde wotude ɗum taki Sénégal ɓe wawi yaltude Macky Sall ɓe addi yimɓe manta ko ɗum ni Ousmane Sonko e Diomaye Faye ɓe yeesoji ya Pastef so minen kala UDP ɗo minen hooli noon kadi ko ɗin façon feereji Sidi Ndiaye e Adama Barrow because ko na o won fono Adama Barrow hoore mum o haalno ɗo intande yawtunoɗo ɗo o wi kanko Adama Barrow ko mambo jiya Ousseynou Dabo Maya so maayi noon ɓe surlat ɗum kanko yaha o waɗa confirmé ne Ousseynou Dabo maayi ha o surla si on tuma kanko Adama Barrow wawa jippude e présidence o kanko kala ɗum wona ɗo kala o haali Demba Sabade haalno ɗo no jarani ɓe kamɓe fi ɓe hippa ƴiƴam ndem jiya ɗo Adama Barrow wona ɗo e laamu Ibrahima Silla haalno ɗo kala meeting monnata ko ɗum wonɗo groupe mo wi UDP ɓen ɗi pari fi jahana leƴƴi monnanta ko fulɓe ɓen e ɗiɗa leƴƴi fi ko hulɓina ɓe so Sidi Ndiaye kañum woni last passing yewɗo ko fitaki ko hannde ɗen ñanden haalugol ɗiɗo façon konngol ji ɗiɗon konngol ji ɗo minen United Democratic Party mbiɗen yii ko konngol mandat ɗi fotaka haalede e ɗum noon ɗi jarani parti o ɓe jahat tokkor fi mi waɗa challenge Sidi Ndiaye mo waɗa proof case makko o so ko fiyotgol summarise rek parti o darde ko jogi kon fi yimɓe fulɓe men kala wawa andude yo maren mo waɗaka kuuñi maren sonin ko aɗa sonin kon kam mo kano keni press conference United Democratic Party UDP igaɗa xiri ida xiri ɗo ke ay kuruna xibari sankano xiri inan kata tunu parti tigirani mane xayi ibe jongi tenga 2025 wakti xaso men ke sinebe do fundu august ke xaso fundu Sidi Ndiaye député ñani agani xali kana ngemba tamara nga dara nga speaker deputy speaker ayane xali ga manam batama nga dara deputy speaker basin NPP parti no ken Sidi Ndiaye ayanda ga coffee time ada diga mu ko no diga mu ku no wonde oda ñi diga mu ku to munti no wonde aga ma xebe banande to munti no wonde ka diga mu ku sangrante ñani aga diga mu ku ay fitna sarana o maka jamane ken wonde ka ko xani ke Sidi Ndiaye parti ke nga UDP ya ida hakatu mu durna ñille halle na taare ko pay Sidi Ndiaye agani lenki deputy speaker nga ado deputy speaker nga MPP baro man takunda no wonde kani koyi jamme pakatinga kani serenga 2016 December wotenga dangi hakati ke beyi ke li jamme nga xenu ayani serenga aga barti gambere mundi xanne naxa gambere mundi xannu naxa nanti arma baro anta kune ne ke jamaay no wonde ada ngen al hala dala ngen taga jikku ada nyama gambere munga hulleni sram hulleni jolani serere ni ba mallinke ni ba sere gabe o gambere mun wonde asuda ina mo gambia kemu da ina wonde gabe yokunto ka wonde ikanunga idurundo ko bandi nun keni karma gabe kan wadi kunda asda kita kille no wonde yonkin to kan wonde aga kunno wonde awino wonde hullu awino wonde sram hullu awino wonde manjako no abino ko kabila tudambe so kenda ko nanti Gambia kabila kibare ko kuma Kenya ga kitarangi ka mane khani Sidi Njie aga iler ni baroma ko na keno gondi keda ko nanti o ko biski no gonda hayta to awuma hayta ka ko to yinga hayta ka anyi nyeki wala Gambia ko yinga hide raddo ke be ara Kenya jobba ken mane khay ken di nankatu kabila no kula na fatam fanseli jo ona ga na konna ko di kabila ndu na baronde mapurna kabila yo ko di kabila yo ya kude na ngaro soronta kan ni jibuna ka do sembe kitana ke dalile ken ya Sidi Njie ara ko fitime gele tirinde nga kinya ke dimay ara jabinde ngi nande UDP ni parti nanti militia groupe nyam am groupe nyam maka angana militia am groupe mo ke ko militaire ngara nyani ka honya no maka kere kere ya maka UDP gi khini kata kabila no Gambia be ko salam bulu ineri kabila no be ko bulu ado kabila no be ko olo honu enade kunna ngani nante kata wote ngai tingitana ke jama no tere amati mu kunde ati kabila no so genna kata kabila no ku kabila no ka UDP soron ar ko atin irande le katia iro jogara won tere katia be ko labo kimba maraha ado kumendu kawaranu kenda ko nanti keni diga me asakara de nyane tuma be UDP da hay nanti kedi politique diga mbania keni diga me ay hibe gara jare nanti parti kenda ka kotuma na Sidi Njie na tonto pour ana kadu ke kesi ana tongundi aga matongundi su luwan nan ka bunu ni sigira mutu boyno ko hibe to Gambia di ko ga tawra beere angana ke ko wado ga ben gondere na international president ajam daw yabo deputy party leader ajam seka nandaga ntege di la resise nandaga Lamin Mane anandaga ma sandawya alle jatu jaju saram kullu ya kuma jayde saram kullu ndo jolanun do serere nun ado olo hono kunya tawnere mallin ko hilibane kunya no ma ke men gondere ken UDP kanan ko nani keme diversity nyane no mana keme gawar no hibe da kabila jura kengaradi Kenya na patinga kamo patibe gati ni UDP ntadu ngene saram hulu na ko tembe jare Kenya na patinga kamo hibe gati nantu hulu ntadu ngene UDP ntadu ngene hulu na ko tembe da Gambia kembe to muma ka kesuna qur'an dina sorom pakle merendi na mbambi ho halle kebe ga kabila ntu binir bedi anani harfu no gati Gambia mo ina kadu san chance kinnia ina ko tembe da Gambia kiani dalile nga UDP ga bara aga kiani dalile wala press conference ngri kurona Gambia mo na ko na nanti o diversity Kenya no sembe nga mana o kabila no guru ani hulle ken saram hulle ken manjago ken mallinke kenya na ko gara sembe kita ken chembe on daga du sere sullo olu menaka purna konna ko do menaka nan gatu yike sabo kita andi sabo kita nagi haduma kyan dalile nga UDP aga yaru ngadi pro na sigira mutu na Sidi Njie na denge kotuma boni impasse be akire 2016 Sidi Njie apare na kemme impasse ala hina kenya kire kadi 2026 aga kenga nanya nkeda nkendo tana o ko andampini anta kabila baka kabila no gondi kabila nchwana man ko kita do me aga kembi laga nyana angana hingara ga nyini kibe gani bonenga anam bartana aya ga na bilagarini itinga na dusarenga anta tuini ka angana huware kibe gani tongunga anam barta kane ayam pasu angara wara maganya nga kembera na tinga na du so kyani ta o gale khibar san kanon tuini nay nanti nanti democratic party UDP akana ka umuri excellence radio sen kunda dabo ado di international executive united democratic party isgira ne kay purna Sidi Njie na dengi kitenga purana ka bi keske profumu matongu ni magare na kanware
Good afternoon to all of you. I only have one or two sentences to say to you because my able colleagues have already said everything that there is to say. The first thing I would say is my name is Zainab Diab Ganim. My father is a Lebanese Gambian, born and bred in Gambia. I was born in the Gambia, bred in the Gambia. My mother is a Mandingo and is a Serir, Santa Sen. So I leave that with you to deduce what you want to deduce out of it regarding Mandinka party of UDP. Fofulache M. What I want to be very clear here is to Sidi Njie. Let Sidi Njie be aware that now enough is enough. All the accusations levied against UDP and all what has transpired. Sidi Njie's history has already been chronicled for you here by my able colleagues. Ñu bàyyi mu dem. Waaye bii duñ bàyyi mu dem. We want to make it clear to Sidi Njie and our party members that we have already spoken to our lawyers and we will be coming to Sidi Njie. He will be hearing from us. If he has any evidence that we have armed militia because people use words without knowing the meaning of those words. Armed militia is a very strong word. If he has any evidence that we have that, when he hears from our lawyers, he should bring the evidences before the court and before the whole of the Gambian people. Lolu buga nañ mu leer ci suñ supporters yi bu baax a baax. And one thing I want to say to Sidi Njie is, if he has an iota of decency in him, he would resign from his position as the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly for coming out with such dangerous, irresponsible, and utterly untruthful statement in public on Peter Gomez coffee time. This is all I want to say. Thank you very much. Naler. No regular.
Thank you very much for that question, and that's very important. We have contacted our lawyers, and they will be filing a case against Sidi Njie in court for baseless and frivolous accusations leveled at the UDP. And if he has any evidence that UDP has an armed militia, he'll have to adduce that evidence in court. Now, we will probably start with a cease and desist injunction to him. If he wants to cease and desist and apologize to the UDP, we probably will drop the case. If he doesn't, we're going to go ahead with a lawsuit against Sidi Njie. Because this has to stop. These fabrications and attempts to demonize the UDP must stop. Li ñoo wax rek mooy ñun contact na suñu lawyers yi pare pour ñu yóbbu Sidi Njie court. Li mu wax su fekkee ne dëgg la ci moom nañ ko gis court nañ tase moom court mu génnee firindeem yi wax ñu ne lii moo tax ma nekk am ngeen am militia fii lañ nekk ñii lii lañ yore ci ngaanaay dañu ko wax waaye xëy na mu def 616 njëkk su fekkee ne moom li mu wax xam na ne du dëgg mun naa génn ne jégal leen ma li ma wax du dëgg ñu bàyyi ko foofu noonu waaye su ko defut nañ dema moom court ñu déggal fan ñu jox ñu évidence bi fan lañ amee militia fan lañ nekk ñan la ak ñoo xam ne fan lañ amee gànnaay gi soo des na ci moom nag su buggee jégalu bu jégalu waaye suñu lay si dañ ko wax kañ la war a jégalu suñu lay si dañ ko wax loolu su jégalu ci waxtu boobu noonu nañ dem court so Sidi Njie nga sa mbala kiitiyo la ngan la loyal contact le foka ba aba tele buri sa na diyataye ay finta fuko ngam min fale toñanten al hekatu diya moye ba kar mo hade badu wanti mo bol ka fille dol ka ko kisi taw ay ina malu ya al hekatu ni nga yembolo sey ko banna nama mbolo sey mita kiitiyo la le ate firin ala cda kul ma ay soto kontro ngam wolle soto ngam londi nga jorangol dila pour ka gambe ngul kele bil man ke mandin kolti ke ki jolta ay nayo yitandinna court ba sun court sen sa ju court be fala so bare to on le contact foga ba no, it's up to him if he wants to apologize. Because the legal procedure is we have a cease and desist injunction to him first, telling him that what you did is wrong. You have to cease doing that, and you have to desist from making any more false accusations against us. If he does that and apologizes, the case stops there. If he doesn't, then it goes to court. Because that's a new rule in the Gambia. You have to have a cease and desist first in cases of defamation libel. So you have to cease and desist. Cease from doing it and desist from repeating it. And apologize. If you do that, it's fine. We withdraw our case. If you don't, we go to court and you adduce your evidence. Okay? Anybody else? Yeah, it's a bit outside the topic, but tribal politics is what characterizes this government. All they do is try to pitch one tribe against the other. That has been there for Barrow for years now. One day he would invite the Mandinkas and then the Wolofs, the Fullers, the Jolas, and what have you, the Sarahule. We say as a president, you should not be doing that. You can invite a village, a region, talk to them about the problems of the region, of the village, not tribal issues. We don't want a conglomeration of tribes in the Gambia. We are all proud of our tribes, and that's the way it should be. But above and beyond that, we are Gambians. And we want to grow the Gambian mentality, the Gambian civic space, so we all see ourselves all as Gambians. Our tribes, our religions, our regions come in as additional factors for enriching us and for bringing in diversity and inclusion. Those should be factors that help us to grow and become better. We should not be using them to divide us. So a president swore to hold this country together and to observe and preserve the laws of the country and the Constitution. And the Constitution and the Federal tells us we are one people, the Gambian people. And that's what we want our president to do for us, grow that culture. Li ñoo wax rek mooy ne nguur gi li ñu leen xamee mooy xaajaale xeet yi dañoo ñu ngi def lépp ñu mun a ñu féewaloo ñun loolu bëgguñ ko ñun Gambians lañ man comme ni ko yàqu ma waxee fii soo gisee high table bi am na fi lépp te ñoo bokk parti bi ñun dañ bëgg a nekk benn doomi réew Gambians ku nekk fi nga jógee xam nga ko fi nga faaxee ko xam nga ko lan nga doon xam nga ko loolu daf ñu war a gën a mën a dimbale pour ñu mën a gën a jëm kanam loolu war ñoo féewale man ma indi suma mandinka original things to the table kii indi Lebanese Arab origin bi indi Wolof and Fula Wolof and Joolaa seet sañ ñu bring it together ñu seet boole yooyu yëpp naka la def lii ñu mun koo jëfandikoo pour jëm kanam loolu lañ bëgg bëgguñ presse moo xam daf ñoo féewaale di ñu xaajaale bëgguñ loolu te moom loolu ni toogee ba tey loolu lañ gis loolu lañ ko wax ne na bàyyi loolu toppatoo Gambie bi ak doomi Gambie fàtte xeet yi so lafta president min ɓe kela ɓen dagoti kan kara ñoobala mo laf president min ɓe kela lancetude kam fara ñoobala man la fi wala mbegam boodula lonne mo mintiga lonne andu mbe ñantam fantole suwa ñantiye fantole fulolu sarahulewlu mandinkolu joolal mbemol momo ñantiye fantole bari lafta president mi yan kasi kara ñoobala mbe fi dambe ndi wolti nga ñoo muta nga ñoo kanu nga ñoo ndule kata ñoo yan ndule ka futu ñoo ndule kata ñoo baade so la fa person ni sin kara ñoo bala mal person bem farala ñoo bala kam bondi ñoo bala mal la fi wala so aran baro ñu tolu bulala nga wala fa na la molu ne jala molu continuer kan kañu mo kun tawlu fu aran baro le yake nati ma kenun ñin tekela na nga singolo jodi ñu tekela ya jaata la ñaata ndeyim bi la bi adama baro moom mooy ndeyim bi la bi su ko bëggoon lii dina jeex moom moo leen a jox moo leen a dooleel na stop tribal politics dafa war a jeex ci réew mi gis lañ li mu def ci Afrique li mu yàq man maa ngi woon Côte d'Ivoire juróom fukki at ak ñaar tribal politics moo tax ñu ngi xeex seen diggante reyante ay fukki junne yi nit rey nañ ko fa ñu dañ mujjee gën a Côte d'Ivoire ak ñëpp dem toogi Tunis ñëpp daw international organisation yëpp génn dem ñu dem Tunis maa ngi woon Tunis fukki at ak benn bi wax dañu daax Côte d'Ivoire ci seen tribal politics ma dem Kenya gis nañ li fa xewoon diggante Kiku yi ak Luo yi ak Kalenjin yi gis nañ ko Burundi gis nañ ko Rwanda ñun bëgguñ loolu Gambia fii dañ bëgg ñëpp nekk benn parce que ñoo bokk ndey a baay ñooy séyante ñooy dem ci ngénte yi dem ci dëj yi loolu lañ bëgg ci réew mi société UDP comme ni ko kii waxee Yakuba yëpp fii ñëpp a fi nekk na Adama Barrow bàyyi loolu lañ ko wax waaye nag xam nañ ne du ko mën a bàyyi parce que noonu la mel soo li ci des ne fi mu nekk ci Gambien si la des 2026 génne leen sànni carte UDP ñu bëcc ko toog ci dex bi loolu ci des jërëjëf.
For closing remarks, I want to say something in Wolof. Sidi Ndiaye. 2017 dama toog man fekk ko suma bunti kër mu toog suma bunti kër fi ma dëkk kaani fi estate maa faa baakay tobo ñoo bokk fence waa jubóowuñ mu toog suma bunti kër moom Sidi Ndiaye benn yoon ñaar yoon ñetti yoon ñeenti yoon suma xale ne laaj ko lan la Sidi Ndiaye def sa bunti kër ma dem na ko yow loo def suma bunti kër mu ne yaa ma ne naam mu ne ma bëgg nga yóbbu si oncle Ousseynou ma ne ko oncle Ousseynou waaw dama am moom waxtaan ma ne baax na dama bëggoon a xam lan la bëgga ma ko Hecci Dabo no ko Sidi Ndiaye def la bëgg a gis Hecci Dabo na ne ko fekk ko kuutu by 8:30 8:30 ñu dajee Sidi Ndiaye kuutu ñu dem sa saali Hecci Dabo fekk jabaram ñoo Sali Dabo ngi toog waaye Sali génn bàyyi Sidi Ndiaye ak man a Hecci Dabo man a Hecci Dabo Sidi Ndiaye ne la bëgg a gis man lim ko doon bëgg a gisee la ma yóbbu ko mu ne Hecci Dabo dama bëgg a ñëw UDP 2017 dama bëgg a ñëw UDP Hecci Dabo seet ko ne ko Sidi duma la tontu gisuma nga pare si sa kanam demal mu dem Ousseynou ooyatu ko ñëwatu après 3 weeks ñu gis ko sa Adama Barrow bon Hecci Dabo maa ngi koo gërëm ne nañ ko bàyyi xel am na lu ko yàlla may xamoon na Sidi Ndiaye doo UDP loolu laa bëggoon a aar rek nit ñi xam Sidi Ndiaye ba mu fas nit la fu tool mu takk Sidi Ndiaye maa ngi la advice 2020 is going to be pure UDP government doo fa takk parce que yàq na ba pare doo fa takk du ko wëñ nga amee waaye suñu government doo fa takk Sidi Ndiaye li ma wax mooy I have to close it. Thank you very much, especially the media houses here present. It was a long period of statements. We've had what the speakers have said here, especially Mr. Lamin Mani and Larry Sise. The youth present have said it in the local languages, in Sarahule and Fula. Just to eliminate tribalism in United Democratic Party. We are not tribalism. The first deputy party leader was a Fula, the lady Ayajalo, a typical Fula, the lady Ayajalo. After him, I'm the deputy party leader. Partly Wolof, partly Fula. Where is discrimination? Where is tribalism? We are not a tribal party. Sidi Ndiaye, we have warned you. We are going to court with you. And there is no way you will escape. There will be no hiding place for Sidi Ndiaye. Here is Gambia, a tiny country. On that note, I say thank you to all of you, especially the executive members, the media houses, and those who are present here today. The media houses, thank you very much. Whenever you are called upon, we are always keen to be with us. So once more, I thank you very much on behalf of the party leader who is not here. Thank you. Thanks.